In American politics and technology, few figures are as influential as President Donald Trump and entrepreneur Elon Musk. Their relationship, a mix of shared interests and clashing personalities, has real consequences for the nation. Trump, in his second term, depends on powerful allies like Musk, whose companies are vital to America's infrastructure and defense. Any rift between them threatens not just business, but national strategy. Their recent public feud wasn't just a celebrity spat, it risked destabilizing a crucial alliance. The Trump-Musk saga is a case study in how personal dynamics at the top can shape public policy and national progress. As their story unfolds, it reveals the high-stakes negotiations that define power in the 21st century. For years, Donald Trump and Elon Musk maintained a fragile but powerful alliance, united by mutual interests and a shared vision for American innovation. But in June 2025, that peace shattered dramatically, sending shockwaves through both the political and tech worlds. The spark? A sweeping piece of legislation called the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which promised to overhaul everything from tech regulation to tax incentives for electric vehicles. Musk, once a vocal supporter of Trump's policies, took to X with a blistering critique. He called the bill a disgusting abomination, shocking both his followers and political insiders. The tech mogul's public denouncement marked a stunning reversal, signaling a deep rift between the two powerhouses. But Musk didn't stop there. He escalated the feud, claiming that Trump owed his 2024 election victory to Musk's behind-the-scenes support. He even hinted at shadowy conspiracy theories, suggesting the president was now turning on his allies for political gain. Trump, never one to back down, fired back on Truth Social. He branded Musk crazy, accused him of betrayal, and warned that Musk's sprawling business empire would now face intense government scrutiny. The president's words sent a clear message: no one, not even a former ally, was above the law. The White House quickly weighed in, suggesting that Musk's outrage was less about principle and more about losing billions in lucrative EV tax incentives. The administration framed the feud as a battle of self-interest, painting Musk as a billionaire fighting for his own bottom line. Across the country, the public watched in fascination as what began as a policy dispute spiraled into a personal, high-stakes confrontation. News outlets dissected every post, every statement, and every rumor, turning the feud into a national spectacle. The once unbreakable alliance now seemed on the verge of total collapse. Both men were risking far more than their reputations. Billions of dollars, political futures, and the direction of entire industries hung in the balance. As the dust settled, one thing was clear. The stage was set for a battle that could reshape not just the relationship between Trump and Musk, but the entire landscape of American technology and politics for years to come. Trump's threats quickly became real as he publicly considered reviewing billions in federal contracts with Musk's companies. SpaceX and Tesla, critical to America's space and auto industries, suddenly faced uncertainty. The tech and defense sectors, along with Wall Street, were rattled by the prospect of losing Musk's contributions. Inside the White House, officials worried the feud was overshadowing key policy goals and creating a political liability. The public, both alarmed and fascinated, saw how personal animosity at the top could threaten national stability. The conflict raised questions about presidential power and the risks of concentrated influence. What began as a war of words now threatened real economic and strategic fallout. The need for resolution became urgent as the stakes grew ever higher. As the feud peaked, urgent back-channel diplomacy began. On June 6, 2025, Vice President J.D. Vance and Chief of Staff Susie Wiles called Musk to de-escalate the crisis. Vance, a bridge between Washington and Silicon Valley, appealed to Musk's strategic interests. Wiles, known for crisis management, emphasized the need to end the distraction and restore order. Their intervention shifted the conflict from public spectacle to private negotiation. The call calmed tensions, opening the door for direct communication between Musk and Trump. Behind-the-scenes diplomacy proved more effective than public confrontation. The groundwork was laid for an apology and a path back from the brink. With mediation complete, Musk reached out privately to Trump on June 9th, expressing regret for his personal attacks. This message wasn't just a formality, it was a carefully worded note, sent late at night, that acknowledged the tension and the damage done. Musk's tone was uncharacteristically humble, admitting that his words had been too harsh, and that he'd let personal feelings cloud his judgment. He emphasized his respect for Trump's leadership and expressed a genuine desire to move forward, not just for their own sakes, but for the sake of their teams and the broader business community watching closely. This direct apology softened Trump's stance and set the stage for public reconciliation. Trump, known for holding grudges, was reportedly surprised by Musk's candor and willingness to admit fault. The private exchange helped diffuse lingering resentment and opened the door for a more constructive dialogue between the two powerful figures. On June 11th, Musk posted on X, "I regret some of my posts about President at Real Donald Trump last week. They went too far." The post was concise, but its impact was immediate. Musk's followers and critics alike took notice, and the apology quickly began trending, sparking debates about accountability and leadership in the digital age. The apology was brief but visible, signaling to Trump and the public that Musk wanted peace. News outlets picked up the story within minutes, dissecting every word and speculating about what it meant for the future of their relationship. Analysts noted that such a public gesture was rare for Musk, who is often unapologetic online. It wasn't a full retraction, but it acknowledged the personal attacks had crossed a line. The public saw a different side of Musk, one willing to admit mistakes, at least partially, and take steps to repair the damage. Social media buzzed with reactions, some praising his humility, others questioning his motives. The move protected Musk's companies and restored a working relationship with the administration. Investors and board members breathed a sigh of relief, knowing that the risk of political fallout had been reduced. For Musk, it was a strategic decision as much as a personal one, ensuring that his ventures could continue to thrive without unnecessary obstacles. For the public, it marked the end of a dramatic week and the beginning of a fragile truce. Conversations in offices, cafes, and online forums reflected a mix of relief and skepticism, as people wondered how long the peace would last and what it might mean for the future. The Titans had chosen peace, at least for now. But beneath the surface, both sides knew that this truce was delicate, and the world would be watching their next moves closely. Trump's response to Musk's apology was measured and strategic. He called Musk's outreach very nice, signaling acceptance and allowing the political storm to subside. In interviews, Trump projected magnanimity, saying he had no hard feelings but subtly reminded everyone of Musk's misstep. When pressed, Trump remained non-committal about fully restoring their relationship, keeping Musk and the public guessing. This blend of public acceptance and private reservation reinforced Trump's authority. He showed he could be gracious, but loyalty and forgiveness had to be earned. The crisis was over, but Trump made it clear he still held the upper hand. The future of their alliance was now entirely in his hands. Trump made clear that reconciliation with Musk depended on a higher purpose, the nation's well-being. On Podforce One, he stated, "We have to straighten out the country. My sole function now is getting this country back to a level higher than it's ever been." The message, personal friendship, was secondary to national priorities. Musk's path to redemption was to align with Trump's agenda and support his vision for America. Vice President Vance confirmed Musk needed to provide unwavering support for the president's policies. The alliance was now conditional. Musk's standing depended on his utility to Trump's mission. The personal feud was over, but professional expectations were set. The ball was in Musk's court to prove his loyalty through action. The Trump-Musk truce marks a new cautious phase in their relationship. After months of public sparring and private negotiations, both men have agreed to set aside their differences, at least for now. This fragile peace is not just about personal egos, it's about the intersection of power, technology, and national policy. Their ability to cooperate, or at least coexist, could shape the direction of American innovation and influence the global balance of power. Their alliance, rebuilt on conditions, remains under intense scrutiny because of its national impact. Every move they make is dissected by the media, analyzed by political strategists, and watched closely by both Wall Street and Silicon Valley. The stakes are high, and the consequences of a misstep could ripple far beyond their own fortunes. Musk is more than a donor. He's a force in industry and public discourse, making him a powerful asset or a dangerous adversary. His companies drive technological progress, and his opinions can sway markets and public opinion alike. For Trump, having Musk on his side means access to innovation and influence. For Musk, it's a chance to shape policy at the highest level. The stability of their relationship affects billions in contracts, tech policy, and the government's partnership with private industry. Decisions made in private meetings could determine the future of space exploration, electric vehicles, and even the nation's digital infrastructure. The stakes are not just financial, they're about the future of American leadership in technology. A stable alliance could drive innovation. Renewed conflict could disrupt key sectors and distract from governance. The uncertainty keeps investors, engineers, and policymakers on edge, wondering whether today's peace will last or give way to tomorrow's headlines. The Trump-Musk dynamic is now a barometer for the government-tech industry relationship. Their interactions set the tone for how public and private sectors collaborate or clash on the world stage. The public feud has ended, but the uneasy peace is built on Trump's terms and Musk's contrition. Both men know that their reputations and ambitions are on the line, and neither can afford another high-profile fallout. The world is watching, because when these titans move, the ground beneath everyone shifts. Their next steps could redefine not just their own futures, but the future of technology, politics, and society itself.